Pre-COVID, to be honest, because I was working a lot, I sort of like didn't really pay attention much to the news. And when it did sort of like click in that there was cases of something going around, I was just like, okay, it's probably, we've had this before. Sort of like they had SARS a few years back, so it's kind of like, see what happens. It's like, I don't know whether I'll get it or not. I'll just keep punching through. And then I think during one of the days, one of our guys had a bit of a cold, or seemed like a cold. And a few days later, I started getting a bit of a tickly cough. And I remember just sort of the following day waking up and just being like, going, I've got no energy, I've got no give up or get up and go to sort of like move. And sort of like Charlie came round to like before work to see how I was, and she was like, I'll sort of like check my temperature, so put her hand on my forehead, and she was like, Jesus, you're really warm. Okay, phone up and say you're not going to be in. So I phoned up work, told them I wasn't going to be in, and then I was off until the end of the first lockdown. I think when I did finally feel better and did go for a walk, I probably couldn't walk any much further than 10 foot without feeling like I was exhausted. So, and it took me a good month or so before I felt like I could walk and breathe normally. To the people, I guess, who don't think it's as serious, is I would speak to someone who's gone through it, even if it's a short term and they've got themselves better, or speak to someone who's suffering from sort of like longer term effects and seeing how or how their sort of like bodies are coping with it and how it's changed, and how, especially in my partner's case, it's been debilitating for her. Before, she'd be able to play rugby, and she can't do that now. She can't run, she can't walk very far without the aid of crutches. Her breathing's not as good as it used to be. And this is a person I've known who's very sort of like on the ball. How can sort of like these people sort of like look at it and just go, oh, it's nothing. It's just like, look at my partner. I went, if you've known her sort of like a year ago before she got COVID, and now look at her and it's like, you're trying to tell me there's nothing happening. That is like, fair enough, you might not have had someone or known someone who's had it, but at least try and sort of like talk to someone who's had it just to get another understanding of it. And if you don't agree with it after that, that's a fair point. That's your beliefs, that's whatever. But at least take a chance of understanding it, because it's not as simple as, not that many people have died from it. That's not the issue with COVID. There may not be a lot of people dying from it, but there are a lot more people suffering long-term effects of it. And until you sort of like open your eyes and see that, you're not going to sort of like be able to understand everyone's plight who has got it.